get tricky is when we cross over, and I think I'm gonna have to take hot water from here and put it there. So we might have to switch.
Okay.
And we are live again here on YouTube. For those of you that saw our message on Facebook or Instagram and decided to subscribe to our Beer and Sunshine channel and are now watching this video, thank you very much. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And here's to you, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, I'll
Again,
cheers with
cheers
you.
out there.
This is sorry. I didn't mean to leave it hanging. So again, this is JW. For those of you that didn't see part one of this video, JW owns brewsrq.com. It is a homebrew supply e-commerce business that he runs here out of Sarasota. So if you're in the Sarasota, Bradenton area, you place an order online, you want to come pick your stuff up, you can make arrangements with him to do that, but just let him ship it to you. If you're in Florida, no matter what kind of shipping you use, you're going to get it the next day anyway, like with the USPS or something like that. He does a great business here, and he has some awesome products, awesome supplies. We're using the Grain Father, and we're Beer and Sunshine. Susie, my pal Susie Bennett here. Susie and I are Beer and Sunshine, along with our other friend, Nikki Goldsmith, who could not make it here today. I would say we should pour a little out for
That's
fallen
all
homie, but
I just mopped here.
yeah, and we're not wasting this delicious cider. He made some awesome cider.
Yes, it's so good.
Put a little passion fruit in it, and it's unbelievable. Really crispy, really awesome.
Yeah, super good.
So the Grandfather just let us know
Okay.
Via the app, and it's also here on my watch to tell me that mash out is done. So we're ready to
Super
start
fancy.
our sparge.
Super fancy.
So now to rinse, and sparging is rinsing all of the sugars out of the grain that's left. And it's going to, you're going to need this in a minute.
Do you want to switch places?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Here,
I'll step over.
Step over that. So now we're going to rinse the residual sugars out of the grain here, so that we get maximum
Yeah,
food for the yeast.
In part one, we mashed in. So he cracked the grains. We added the grains to our water at temperature.
Yes.
And so it's been 60 minutes that the mash has been. What do you call that process? Like as it's sitting there, what is that?
They call it the saccharification.
Saccharification?
Rest, which is just a fancy way of saying we're getting the starches. The enzymes are converting the starches into sugars.
It's a fancy way of
Saccharification. I have trouble saying some words. It's saccharification rest. Anyway, it's mashing.
It sounds
it's
like
the mash.
a fancy way of saying kick someone in the nuts. Sacrification.
Sacrification. Now sacrifice. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, so we're good. It's ready for us. We're gonna let that drain for just a little bit until the wort level is down, and then we're gonna start.
And JW was explaining this to me earlier, to Susie and I off camera. So the sparging is where you're adding more water to the mash.
We're rinsing the grains.
It's rinsing the grains, which even though it's like, to me, it sounded counterintuitive, but it actually will maintain or increase the ABV or the alcohol percentage, because that new water is going to be able to further extract any residual sugars that are left in the grains that aren't already in what is now called the wort, which is the liquid that you get from the mash process by mixing the water with the grains. That's your sugary water, and that's what over time, as it ferments, gives you your alcohol and becomes your beer, of course. And then you're going to add things to it as well, right?
Yes, we're going to add, once we get into the boiling, we're going to add some hops. Hang on, somebody's calling me. We're going to add some hops for bittering and for flavor throughout the process, and we got a couple things at the end. We're going to add roll flock for helps with clarification of the wort, and also a nutrient for the yeast.
What is that called? Whirl flock?
So called whirl flock. It's a totally natural product. Actually, it's made out of moss, seaweed, believe it or not.
Made out of
seaweed. And it is it helps to coagulate the proteins that break out. Once we get into the boil, you'll start to see, like, you can't really see them now in the mash, but they'll start to coagulate and clump together. It's called the hop break, and you don't want that in your beer because it's going to affect clarity. So you use the whirl flock to kind of globs it all together, and you drain the wort off it at the end of the boil. It stays in the kettle, and your beer is much more clear. Yes, which is what you want. Everyone likes clear beer. I know hazy beers are all the thing, but this is not a hazy beer. We want this one to be clear.
And by the way, this beer that we're making, So technically, this is Susie's second time brewing. Well, she brewed on her own for the first time, right?
I
Just
did, yep.
recently. And then what kind of beer? What did you brew?
It's a blonde ale, and I added passion fruit juice to it. Ooh. So after it was done fermenting, I ended up adding passion fruit juice. Let that go for another week, and that brings us to about now, where I'll be bottling here this weekend.
So beer and sunshine is all about the craft beer scene here in Florida, mainly the Tampa Bay area, but really all of Florida. And we're huge craft beer enthusiasts, so I'm super excited. We're gonna get to drink her beer on the show probably next week. Will we do it on Tuesday?
Yeah, not this coming Tuesday, probably the following Tuesday.
Oh, the following Tuesday. Okay,
yeah.
And so we do a Facebook Live show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. So if you go to our Facebook and look up Beer and Sunshine on Facebook, you can like us there and subscribe to our, watch our live shows there. We'll be doing some more stuff here on YouTube and Instagram as well. We do have a great Instagram account. We do lots of fun stuff there. Nikki mostly handles that, and she does a great job. And if you haven't met her, here if you met Susie, myself, go meet Nikki on Instagram. She's got lots of cool pictures on there of her promoting beers, local beers, and beers from all over the place. But this brew, by the way, this is real important. Sierra Nevada has an IPA, and they have a recipe for that IPA. It's called Resilience IPA. They've shared it with thousands of breweries all over the country. And so breweries that are able to brew and sell the beer are donating proceeds to the Fire Relief Fund out in California because of the wildfires. Unfortunately for us, none of us have the ability to do that because none of us are brewers, or we're not brewing businesses per se.
No, we're homebrewing right now.
Yeah, we're homebrewing, and but JW and his business, they're going to donate some funds, and Beer and Sunshine would love to, but we're quite poor at the moment. We don't make any money from this. It's really a passion project. Maybe down the road, some nice sponsors or rich benefactors would like to give us some money. That'd be awesome. And you
guys should have a Patreon.
Yeah, we should have a Patreon or something, right?
Yeah,
we should do that.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow. Well, cool. But hey, anybody who's watching for the first time, thanks a lot. We're glad you're brewing with us.
Yes. So because the Grainfather's one of the nice things about it too is it's really just handy. I'm very scatterbrained by nature, and homebrewing is a very process-oriented brewing in general. It's a very process-oriented thing.
Very scatterbrained.
So this really helps a lot to keep me on track. So now here what I'm doing is I'm tracking the amount of sparge water I'm using based on the recipe. It's going to tell me when we've got everything in that we need to get in. And you see it's draining really nice. So our grain bed is really settled nicely, and we should hopefully fingers crossed, we'll hit our target volume on the dot and be ready to roll right into the boil.
Yeah, you guys can't see this, but on the little screen on the Grainfather, it's got the name of the beer. It tells you the process, the total volume, and then the sparge process volume. And then it has like a little bar that tells you where you are. It's kind of like progressing towards being full. And then it has other controls where you can, if you're ready to go, you can just skip it to the boil. It's really cool, actually. Temperatures are on there. I mean, it makes it so that's so
awesome.
cool.
And there's like a Bluetooth icon. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all Bluetooth on my phone, so this is telling me. So it sends me the notifications and things. Funny, you probably can't see that, so we're right in the middle of the sparge. You can control the Grainfather, set it up. Run your recipes through it, build recipes on it. It's really quite handy. Yeah. So
if you're a home brewer and you're watching this, when you get a chance, go to brewsrq.com. Go to his store, his online store there. He's got pretty, would you say you have everything that the home brewer needs?
Well, we're getting there. It depends on how you brew. So we can get just about everybody up and running if you've never brewed before. Or if you have an existing setup and all that, and you just need ingredients and whatever, we got that locked down. So we're constantly expanding our selection, bringing in, we're trying to bring in some interesting yeasts, some interesting hops, maybe some different malts now that we're getting a lot of specialty malts available. So we're just trying to kind of gauge what everybody's looking for and getting feedback from the community on what they're looking, what they want. Yeah. We're bringing it all in. So we're never going to have less than we have right now. Only much more, but it's, there's a lot of stuff out there, for sure.
I don't know if you have done this at all, but it would be really cool, especially for people watching this that are into e-commerce and making money there and that sort of thing. You should set up some sort of affiliate program so people can promote your business You know what I mean? And then make some small percentage off affiliate links and that sort of thing. I bet you could do that pretty easy through something like ClickBank. You get set up on there or something. That'd be awesome for your business.
I mean,
because there's so many enthusiasts that would probably love to buy products, do a little review on them, talk about your service, and then provide a link where somebody can click on it, and that could drive the heck out of your business.
The bottles I got from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the capper and the caps. So when I go to bottle them up, they came from here.
Cool,
so,
cool. What kind of bottles did you get?
They're just like the 12-ounce bottles.
Like clear
the brown,
or
no brown.
Yeah.
No, clear is bad. Clear is bad for beer.
Oh,
Light is really bad for beer.
I'm not the smart one of the three of us. I'm
not. It's the enemy of beer.
He's always selling himself short over here, man.
It's tough. Her and Nikki, they're so pretty, right? They're so easy on the eyes. Me, not so much. She's the brains. She's a darn biologist, and then Nikki is, she's like our marketing strategist. She's brilliant. She's great as well. So, what do I bring to the table? This hat, this beard, maybe.
Epic beard.
If I could grow a beard, I'd probably push you out of here,
That's right. Then I wouldn't even need me anymore. Then I would do, what would I do? I could stand on the other side of the camera and just push buttons, I guess. I don't know. By the way, anybody who watches this, if you're in the Sarasota area, today at Mr. Beery's down in Gulfgate, I will be bartending. I'm going to be bartending there all day and all night. We have a huge event for one of the beer tenders there, Artie. His daughter has a rare disorder called Rett syndrome. It manifests itself with symptoms like cerebral palsy. Very sweet little girl. I think she's really young, 3, 4, something like that. Absolutely adorable. We're doing a huge event. We're going to have food. We're going to have beer. There's going to be some entertainment. Of course, I will be there, so I'm kind of entertainment. It's going to be awesome. And definitely come down there and check it out. There's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be quite a busy day, which I'm going to need to boogie out of here shortly to go down there, but we wanted to share this brewing process with you. And again, I'm super excited because this is my first time ever brewing. I mean, technically, I'm doing nothing but drinking, but I'm here.
All right. Well, this is the end of our sparge water that we're putting in right now. I'm putting in right now. So once this drains out completely, we should have our final volume. Hopefully, we hit the target. Fingers crossed. The grainfather now, but told it to put all the sparge water in. It's now ramping up the temperature to get ready for the boil. So it's going to bring it up to boiling, and as soon as it hits that and everything's drained off, then we'll start adding hops and get this thing rocking and rolling.
Cool. Why didn't they call this thing the Almighty Grainfather? That would have been even better.
Maybe that's the next version. There's the guys are always coming up with something.
Maybe the Almighty Grainfather won't require you to mix in the grains by hand. It'll just do it for you.
There's some breweries, like professional breweries out there that don't have, grain, raking systems and things.
Yeah.
Like, we got to do it all by hand on, a big system. Maybe just gotta flex those guns a little more.
I'm old and broken. Everything hurts. My tendinitis has literally flared up since.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you. I just wanted you to be involved.
I was kind of involved. I did do a little something. I forgot about that.
I know. I got to update some of my equipment. I realized when I was going through my brewing process that I was ill prepared for all of it. I just had a spaghetti pot that I used when I was doing the mashing, and then I used that. I didn't have a fine mesh strainer, but I did have. I got creative when I was trying to do this and realized I didn't have what I needed. I ended up using a lingerie bag that I had bought at some point.
She makes sexy beer.
I had bought at some point and never used. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. So I used that in a strainer, and I poured everything through to try to get it all out back into the same one pot I had, and then tried to do the foil there. And then my cooler, where the beer has been fermenting, is just like a regular cooler you get from the store that I've been trying to temperature control by putting ice packs and ice in there.
JW, do you have any idea where she might be able to find products that would help make her brewing easier?
I do. And I think you're a perfect candidate for brewing a bag. And you don't have to use a laundry bag. You can have an actual brewing bag that holds grains. Understand completely. Look. And the thing is, you made beer. That's the thing about it. You don't need all of this stuff. It's just what makes your life easier. What helps you to make better quality beer. You still make beer.
I'll have to bring some for you too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I need a good selection of people to try it and tell me what they think.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, he's a pro, this guy. So
I won't have a ton. It's literally only a gallon at the most.
That's all right.
But I'll split it up and
I'll drink it slow. And by the way, if you'd like to see more of Susie, That doesn't mean what you think it means. So, she just started her own Instagram channel, right?
Yeah, I have my new Instagram is at Susie on Tap, and you can kind of check out a few pictures of my brewing process and some other beer and me hanging out in my pajamas, I guess.
Maybe it does mean what you think it means. And it's SUSIE?
Yes,
on Tap?
on Tap.
Susie on Tap,
Yeah.
and Tap on Instagram. And she's done a couple of really awesome videos. So if you go, I think, are both your videos on our Facebook?
I believe they are, yeah.
So you're on our Facebook, clearly. Make sure you like and subscribe to every single one of our, subscribe to our channel and like all of our videos. Watch all of them. The very first episode of Beer and Sunshine was almost 3 years ago at Big Top Brewing Company. By the way, we're part of the Big Top Brewing Company. We're under the Big Top umbrella. Pun intended.
Hey.
And she has 2 awesome videos that were put up in the past few months here. Where she, let's see, what was the one where you explain a few different types of beers or something?
Yeah, I had a few different types of beers for someone who's maybe new to trying craft beer. And then the other one was about lambic beers and the wild fermentation and spontaneous fermentation process.
What are you going to do next?
I've been trying to think about this. So I've been trying to break it up into what I want to talk about that might be interesting to other people and maybe not just interesting just only to me. But there's a bunch of like cool things, you know, when it comes to the beer process, even like water quality and how that affects the different styles of beers and stuff like that. So I'm leaning towards there. But I also have a bunch of beers that I bought from Total Wine to try out and check out from like local breweries. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do something super sciencey or something.
Do something more like drunk history.
Drunk history. I know I should get drunk and just talk to you guys.
How adorable would that be if she starts out sober and then you do like, what do they call it? Jump cuts? You do jump cuts? Like an hour, like every 30 minutes you do a jump cut and then you just plastered.
I love Drunk History. That is such a funny show.
The funniest thing ever. Yeah.
We could. I don't know if my parents might like that, but
I mean,
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
they were like, Susie, what are you doing?
Listen, just tell them to call Uncle Tom. If you have a problem, have them call me. I'll handle your parents.
Oh, boy. I think we're near the end of the sparging here. It's slowed down quite a bit.
And so then, now the next step, like how long will that take? Or is the next step it goes to fermentation?
The next step is the boil.
Okay.
So the boil is where we add our hops. We add hops early for bittering, and then hops late in the boil for flavor and aroma. And then we'll do a hop stand or a whirlpool at the end. So when the heat is off and the wort is kind of slowly cooling down, we add some more hops in there to really give those fresh hop flavors and aromas that we love in our hoppy IPAs. And then from there, once that is done, we'll chill the wort down. Using the counterflow chiller that's built in, it comes with the grain father, to get it down to our pitching temperature, as close as we can. Now, the nice thing about it is that, we're here in Florida, it's hot most of the year, and when it's not hot, it's just kind of nice, it's never really cold. But it's a big challenge for fermentation control. Temperature control is kind of it's the most important step I think anybody can make in brewing to improve their beer, for sure. But it's challenging. Not everybody has the space or the funds or whatever to buy an old freezer and put a temperature controller on it. All that. I mean, it's a little bit of investment, not a lot, but maybe can't do that. We're going to be using a yeast that is it's kind of new to the scene. It's a couple years old. It's called it's a Norwegian Kveik yeast. It's Kviek. It's pronounced Kveik, and it's very tolerant of all temperatures. It doesn't really care, and it doesn't. Unlike other yeasts that will ferment hot, it won't throw off any of the like higher alcohols that are unpleasant, fusel alcohols, or any of those like weird esters and phenolics that are not pleasant to drink in a style.
So there's such a thing as unpleasant alcohol? Because I've
yes.
never experienced that.
Yes. So let me tell you. When I first started brewing, I didn't know anything of this. So we extract on a stove and made 5 gallons of IPA and threw it in the closet. At our house in Florida, it's like 78 degrees, 77 degrees. That's not an ideal fermentation temperature for an ale yeast, and it fermented just fine, but man, it tasted funky. And I never realized what it was. And I mean, I did that for years. A couple of years, that's how we brewed it. It was just like, well, this is just homebrew. This is just how homebrew tastes.
Homebrew's supposed to be disgusting, not true. Not true.
No, and it was fermentation control. And as soon as I figured that out, I was like, oh, then you start making great beer because you're getting the flavor that the yeast is supposed to, and not these weird off flavors caused from the heat stress. You know, so yeah, it's the biggest step I think anybody could take, and it doesn't matter what style of brewer you are, extract or all grain or partial grain, whatever it is you're doing. Fermentation control, number one thing to increase the quality.
A few days into the fermentation process with my beer, we had it out in the garage in the cooler, and like I said, I was trying to temperature control it. I was checking on it like a new mother. And then I didn't look at the temperatures and the weather that was happening, and the temperatures dropped. And then I went and checked on my beer, and it was like so cold, and I was like, no! And so I'm like, I gotta bring it inside. I'm like, Mike!
Back up.
I'm like, help me!
Is your husband Mike? Is
Yeah, my husband Mike.
Is he your beer guy?
He likes to drink beer, yeah. Yeah, I had him try my beer as well.
He's got to come to be on the show sometime.
Mike, come on, be on the show.
Yeah, Mike is an open invitation.
You guys can come. You guys
drink
can
some
come
beers together.
Come do a show at the Homebrew Club too. If you ever wanted to.
Well, we do want to. Definitely want to.
We can make it happen.
When do you, like? Should we come to like a meeting or something? You think?
Sure.
Or?
Yeah.
When
You
do you
said
guys
the
have
first
another
Thursday?
meeting? What's the name of the Homebrew Club?
It's the group part of is HAMS. It's Homebrew Association of Manatee and Sarasota, and we meet the first Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock. Usually 6:30 for a little meet and greet beforehand, a little mingling, and it's at the Gold Coast Eagle Distributing up in Lakewood Ranch.
Awesome. I know it well. It well because doing some deliveries for Big Top, I have driven that old box truck of theirs, Old Blue. My pal. Old Blue's my buddy.
You've been up there, yeah?
Been up there many times. Yeah, I know those guys up there pretty good. So,
awesome.
Yeah, we definitely love to do that for sure. We'll have to do that real soon.
Sure, you have to be like on location, not on your normal night.
I have a Hams beer T-shirt. I will wear my Hams.
Oh
shirt.
man, I don't even have one of those. I don't even have one of those.
Yeah, but
So to work it out, but yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of guys in there who know. I mean, they've forgotten more than I know. Okay?
Right.
Like those are guys like heavy hitters and making some world class beers. I mean, award-winning stuff. It is.
Wow.
I love it. I
Will
love
there
this
be
great
some
group.
sampling?
Oh, absolutely, every single time. But it's
When is the
the
next
general
meeting?
structure.
When's the
It's
next one?
well, we just had it on Thursday, so it'll be January 1st, Thursday in January.
Okay.
And you can find them on Facebook, and we have a Yahoo group too, if you're into that.
What's Yahoo?
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like the next evolution past like bulletin boards, and remember back in the stone ages of the internet before Wi-Fi. Oh my God, what was this? Dial-up internet. And so there's good. I say it's good to keep you up on the date if there's anything goes up. I usually, I can keep anybody in the loop that needs to be in the loop about that. We like to get more members.
Does
and stuff.
Hams have a website or anything?
I do. It's if you search, Ham Sarasota should pop up. It's a little Wix site and has some information on there and some forums. And it's not super active, but it is.
You accepting new members?
All the time. Absolutely.
You heard it here.
Yeah,
folks.
and members of Hams get a 10% discount on all of their supplies here at
What?
BSRQ.
Super.
Yes.
Super.
So paid membership, it matters, and it's a great club, and it's really active. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming up. I don't want to spoil it, so I'll let you talk to the guys who are actually doing these things. We have like some big events in the area that we're going to be doing, and just a great group of men and women who love beer, who make fantastic beer, and are very passionate about the community.
So I know a lot more women are starting to do like brewing, even like on the big scale. How many women do you have in the club there?
Oh, we have a handful of regular members.
Yeah.
Probably not, not everybody's members comes to every meeting. But yeah, I mean, and those ladies know beer, and they make great beer, and they love beer too. So
That's awesome.
it ain't a gender thing. It's
Meet your newest member, Susie
right?
Bennett.
Yes, come join us.
10%.
10% off. I mean, look. Right? And I don't even get a cut. I don't even get a cut from the membership. And it's only $20 a year. So I mean, come on.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
So all right. So the Sparge is almost complete, and
It
then
is.
you'll be moving. Unfortunately, I have to get to my event. I'm actually running quite a bit late. And you got to get down to Mr. Beery's in Gulfgate. So again, if you're in the area, you're watching this, and get a chance to see this today, come on down, come visit me, and have a beer and support a great cause. Get over to brewsrq.com. Go see Susie on tap on Instagram, and of course follow Beer and Sunshine on Facebook, on Instagram, here on YouTube, and make sure you watch all of our content, and feel free to reach out to us anytime. We've got some giveaways and things we'll be doing here shortly coming up. We have some t-shirts and stuff like that we'll be giving out, so tune in, check us out on Tuesday. We're going to have, gosh, I forget the name of their company, but some awesome people that make beer pretzels. They make pretzels with beer infused pretzels, and they're the most delicious things in the world. They're going to be on Tuesday, 7 o'clock. That'll be our Facebook Live show. So until next time, beer and sunshine, everyone. Have a beer-tastic day. And remember to believe in the power of beer. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
You should want to end. Stop streaming? Yes, end.